was at the Mall of America a couple years ago, and they have a roller coaster at the Mall of America. Now, I wanted to ride the roller coaster. I'm a fun guy. You guys can see that, obviously. I wanted to ride the roller coaster, but I was by myself. I feel like a weirdo. I'm like, I don't want to ride a roller coaster alone. But then I was like, whatever. That's just my anxiety. Get in the way of a good time. So I said, you know what? I'll have one ticket for the roller coaster. Now, the roller coaster seats 4 across. So when you're by yourself, they put you in the group of 3. And my group of 3 was like 3 10-year-old boys. They're like, you're with these kids. And right away, I'm like, I don't want to sit with somebody's children. I feel like a weirdo alone. Now I feel like a real weirdo with somebody's kids. But I had to go through with it. You can't back out in that moment. You can't be like, oh, I can't sit with kids. Never mind. Forget it. Sorry. You know what I mean? That's like a red flag. They're going to be like, what's up with this guy? Why can't he sit with children? So I had to be like, sure. You can't go too big either, by the way. You can't be like, yeah. Woo! You got to split the difference. Yes. I would love to. So then I sat with the kids, and you've been on a roller coaster. They're like right next to you. Like our legs are touching. We're like right here, and I'm like, should I say hello? Should I be like, hey, what's up, guys? All right. Or is that like a stranger danger? I don't want to freak them out. But then it also feels psychotic to just stare straight ahead. So once again, I had to split the difference. So I kissed the cutest one on the lips. Gave him a little split. Nothing serious, just soft. Let him know I'm a good guy, you know. I'm like that at like Starbucks too, or a coffee shop. You guys don't have Starbucks here, I'm aware. You guys don't have anything here, frankly. I don't know. How do you guys eat meals in this town? I guess you have to cook at home. Yeah. I don't have a home. Stay at the hotel. I think I might hate Woodstock. I came here like 3 weeks ago, and I loved it so much that I was like, I'm coming back. I was like, I took my wife. My wife wasn't here, and I was like, you gotta see this town. It's fantastic. And then I went to like a place of business and gave a guy $50 for a calendar. It was too late. I got a calendar with photos of Woodstock, very lovely. And then he's like, that's 1950. I thought he was joking. I was like, nah. And then he's like, no, seriously. I was like, oh, all right. Anyways, that's not funny to you guys. That's a normal calendar price here in Woodstock. I guess the New York City calendar's a little more readily available. Also, maybe I'm just old. Maybe I'm just 40 years old. A calendar to me is like $1.50. But anyways, as I handed him the money, he was like, I didn't think this week was going to be so busy. And then he just handed me the bag back. I was like, well, I guess I'm sorry you're making so much money. I feel bad. I'm terribly sorry that I drove here and gave you my money. And then we went to Richardson's Tavern at the Woodstock Inn. Yeah, fuck that place. That place sucks. Are you guys still there? We went there, and then the lady was like leaning on the... are they here? I don't want to make it weird.
I'm not here.
Stephen
No.
Richardson here?
No, we're not here.
The lady was like leaning like this on the counter, and she was like chewing. She was like... And I was like, hey, we're looking to eat at the restaurant. She was like, you staying at the hotel? And I was like, no. And she was like, guests only. It's a weird policy for a restaurant, but I was like, well, all right, nothing, all right, well. I was like, is the hotel sold out? I wanted to do like a baller move of like, give me a room and a meal, you bitch. You know what I mean? I was like, is it sold out? And she goes, pretty much. Now, what does that mean, pretty much? Does that mean sold out is yes or no, right? Am I crazy? I know I'm shitting on your town and this lady you probably all know, but she sucked. I hated her. Anyway, so Richardson's was closed. You stood up. That made me nervous. So that's not her. That was closed. And then there's a place called Corbin's Testicles or something downtown. We walked in there. They were like, we're closed for whatever. They don't even know. I ate at a gas station. That's what we got. We got meatball subs at a gas station. It was pretty good. And then there's here. This is the only other place. I'm not joking. I've been here for 28 hours, and I've eaten here 3 times. And that's not a joke. But it's nice. It's great. Very nice. Went to the one coffee shop that has 4 seats for the 1,100 people that are currently in the town. That was cool. But anyways, it is nice. But I went to Starbucks in New York. We have a place called Starbucks. It'll make its way up here. I asked Siri, I'm like, where is Starbucks? And they're like, is that a joke? That's what Siri said back to me. Like, are you joking around? Not really. That actually is a joke. They didn't say that. But it was like 12. I'm starting to think a few of you aren't familiar with Starbucks, and it's actually kind of weird. I'm like a people pleaser. You guys, I want everyone to like me. Do you guys have that? Except for you guys. Obviously, I'm burning this bridge, but this covered bridge. By the way, the rest of everything else is great. I hiked about Tom. I hiked that. That was fantastic. Woo! There's some kind of Mount Tom joke in here, you know. I came on his back, whatever, something like that, you know. I'll work on it. It actually feels too small of a crowd to be dirty. I just realized. It doesn't feel like a comedy show. It feels like I'm just hogging the conversation here. It's like a dinner party and I'm just an asshole who's not letting anyone else talk. Just ruining everybody's night. Like, right? Can I tell a story? I'm like, no! Oh boy, I'm happy to be here. I have horrible anxiety. And, I have panic disorder, panic attacks. I don't know if you've ever had one of those. They're pretty brutal. If you've never had one, it's almost like you're being attacked by panic. That's how I would sort of describe it. I'm not a doctor, but I had to go to a therapist because I kept having panic attacks. The therapist told me a panic attack is fight or flight phenomenon. I don't know if you know that term. That's when your brain prepares your body to fight or flee from whatever it's afraid of. She said it happens in nature. I think that's cool. The only weird thing is I get panic attacks when I'm talking to girls, so that's sort of a weird situation. I'll be at a bar after the show and some girl's like, "You're really funny tonight." And I'm like, I'm gonna have to fight this bitch. I can't run away. That would be embarrassing. Like, put him up, young lady. I don't appreciate this. And, I had to go back to my therapist and be like, is there a chat and get laid option in nature? That would be enjoyable. I've been fighting a lot of women lately, and don't get me wrong, I'm undefeated, but my shoulders are killing me. It's nerve-wracking talking to girls, because you never know how they're going to react. I told a girl she was pretty the other day. She got mad at me. She was like, I don't need you to validate me. I was like, jeez. I was just trying to be nice. I didn't mean to imply that you're a mall parking garage ticket. If it makes you feel any better, I only think you're pretty on the outside now. You seem like a very unpleasant human being to me. I love the girls. I have a girlfriend, but I still like checking girls out. That's a nice thing to do, right? You ever get caught checking out a girl with your girlfriend, not because she sees you, but because you elbow her, thinking she's one of your buddies? To my girlfriend the other day, I'm like, check out this ugly bitch over here. Look at that slut. I hate that woman. I thought you were Phil. Sorry about that. I like my girlfriend. We have sex. We don't have kids. Kids are a big side effect of sex. You gotta watch out for that. I like hanging out with kids because you can always make them laugh. That's what's nice. Adults can be very difficult. But if you want to make a kid laugh, all you have to do is guess the kid's age. But you guess 5 years higher than you know they are. They lose their mind. You walk up to a 5-year-old, what are you, 10, 12? You get your license, you're married? The kid's like, ah! Get the hell out of here! It kills. That joke does not work with adults at all. You can't walk up to a woman, what are you, 50? Menopausal? Divorced? Get out of here! She's like, that's not funny. I'm like, well, you've changed, young lady. That used to be hilarious. I read an article recently. It said sometimes if a baby is crying, it could be as little a thing as the baby has an itch, but doesn't have the capacity to scratch it. It's like a dumb, itchy baby. So if you're ever on a crying baby, just scratch the hell out of that thing. That's what I do. I'm like, I got this one, everybody, and I scratch them all up. And my sister's like, why is the baby all red? I'm like, he's probably emotional. And somebody figured out what was wrong. People always feed their baby if it's crying. That usually works, but that does not necessarily mean that it wasn't itchy. If I had an itch that I couldn't reach and somebody put their breast in my mouth, I'd be like, well, forget about that itch. Tit trumps itch is the lesson of that joke. I have a nephew. He's adorable. He's 6 years old. We were hanging out the other day. I was teaching him some life lessons. In the middle of my big speech, he goes, Uncle Joe, why are your teeth all yellow? I was like, I think it's because Santa Claus isn't real. That's probably the main reason. We both had a good cry, and that felt good. And, I like kids. It's a lot of work having kids. I know it is, because people with kids try to get me directly involved with their kids without asking my permission first. I was at a supermarket the other day. This woman was pushing a baby carriage. The baby was crying. She yelled at it. She's like, you better stop crying. You're bothering this nice young man right here. And she points at me. Now I'm just involved in disciplining a child that I don't know. I was like, you're actually not bothering me at all. You're bothering your mother, and she's bothering me. That's what's actually happening. I'm stoned buying fudgicles. I could care less that your baby is crying. He probably just needs to be scratched. So I'm a fun guy. I used to be more fun. I used to drink. That was like drinking synonymous with fun. And I was more fun when I drank. But I was also like a riskier fun. You know what I mean? Like I would do karaoke. I'd take my shirt off and like whip it in the crowd, you know? Fun. But then I'd go back to your house and shit on your floor. So it's kind of ups and downs, strikes and gutters, you know? I'm a safer fun now. That's a strange thing to yell out at that point, but you guys shit on the floor there? Yes. At guard from North Carolina. Remember that song? I feel like you guys are younger than I am, but it was a great time to be alive. That was Michael Jordan. He would come out there and say that. You remember the fucking Bulls? I wasn't a Bulls fan, but that music was really fun. I can't do it, but it was like bing, ding, ding, dong, dong, ding. I can't. That sounded like really. I just went racially insensitive there. I was like, just did a weird. That was almost a slur I just did. I was trying to do the Bulls music. At guard from North Carolina. Anyways, but yeah, UNC, man. By the way, I got dry blooded booger. I'm not on coke. It looks like I'm on coke right now. I'm all like, yeah, I don't drink anymore. It's fucking woo. North Carolina.